Hi folks, Jayhawks Through Time is on an off week this week, or a bye week rather, so I'm just going to talk about a video game that I like. This is Thrasher Skate and Destroy here for the PlayStation 1, developed by Z-Axis. You may remember from Dave Mirra's Freestyle BMX. This is a skateboarding game though, and in the Z-Axis tradition, it's hard as hell, but very rewarding. That's what I like about it. This game is just hard as shit, but not unlike real skateboarding. Basically, it's difficult, but when you do it right, it feels so good. It's like it's really the opposite of Tony Hawk. It's the same thing, same sport, but it's so focused on just being this incredibly realistic. Especially for 2000 when this came out. This came out 16 years ago, and it's one of the most realistic, like, physical simulations of skateboarding, in that you fall all the time, and you will get the feeling that you can't do anything right. One really good spot is this ramp and rail here, with a little kink in it, but it empties into the grass, so there's just, like, you gotta do it perfectly if you want to get it right, or you got to hit one of these bumps really perfectly. It does a kind of neat thing where you have to hit select to start a run, and so you can basically be getting a head start, and your first trick is the first thing that counts. So I'm going to go up to where I start most of my runs, which is right here, and just do that, and just hit the fucking kicker ramp like an asshole. And now all of a sudden I'm like 10 seconds down, and points come at a premium here. And if you do something wrong, then you're kind of fucked. You don't want to just kickflip everything, but I find myself just kickflipping everything because it's so hard to get anything else done. I just made a huge combo. That is completely unprecedented somehow, and I'm on film, so you know what? I'm having a good day here, apparently. This is just such a technical skateboarding game. It is hard to gain speed. That's one of really the only major issues, and to getting and gaining speed and then conserving speed is the hardest part of this game, because there's no way to just do it right every time, and you will find yourself kind of slowing down after everything, even good stuff. It's like, I still would prefer Skate to this, obviously, because Skate is such a realistic but still fun thing. Because if you're trying to do like a line here, or something like this happens so rarely in actual nature, but it is tough because you get all this stuff to kind of trick off of, but you have to hit it perfectly, and that's how real skateboarding is, of course. But bam, there we go, 360 flip to tail grab, and see, god damn it, see, that's the hard thing, is you can get good air, it's just you have to land perfectly, and that's obviously how it really is. But shit, okay, so we're gonna run out of time here. There's still a possibility to make up those points if you don't end up with it. The score I ended up with was 9,370, and the score I needed was 10,000 to become less useful. Jesus, what's happening there? That's a very Dave Mirra style ragdoll. I feel like this run is at a loss. And it's just like, it is hard to do anything right, because there's so often you'll just find yourself, there is no leeway. It's a Hobbesian approach to skateboarding, where you're just gonna fucking fail most of the time. Is kind of like life. God damn it! See, that was perfect. I thought I had ground there, but you get clipped on this little table. Oh, I hit the ground too hard. Oh my god! See, that that is something that happens, though. You can't hit the ground too hard. In Tony Hawk, that's like, holy shit, you did it. In Skate, that's like, that's a bunch of points. In this game, though, you just can't fudge that. And right there, that's a failure because you land sideways. This is just a hard game. It's hard, but like, in a good sense. It's not so hard that I don't want to keep playing, because it's this sort of difficulty where like you get close, but it's not like a discouraging sort of thing where I'll never get it done. And that's what you want, especially in a game like this. So I'm going to just try to land something right off the bat. Alright, we did that, so that's good. Getting up that ramp, you lose so much speed. It's kind of like I probably shouldn't start the run there. but I do it anyway because that's how I go. Can we get? It doesn't really like count points for landing fakie, which I kind of wish it did. My biggest problem right now is that I know you unlock more stuff as the game goes on. That was good. That was a 360 ollie over the transfer there. You unlock more tricks as the game goes on, but like your default, if you launch with, you hold down the button, the triangle button, for instance, to start your trick if you're flipping, which is how actual skateboarding, which is an amalgamation of actual skateboarding. It's not perfect. It's not like Tony Hawk where you're in midair when you decide your trick. You've got to commit to it early. And that makes heel flipping hell because you have to basically be holding left on the D-pad or analog stick. I'm using the D-pad right now just because it's easiest. Shit. Because the ideal thing is to hit that and then flip out, which I guess I just did. But it is hard to be accurate with so much speed. It is hard to be accurate in landing on the rail so that you do grind, and then it's also just hard to hit the rail and grind. But if you don't have the speed, you're not going to make it up there in the first place, and you're not going to be able to land anything. And you get more points. They're little like decimal points to your multiplier that you only get if you do it right, So if you do it with some speed, rather. Sorry, I don't know why I said if you do it right. All right, so we are over the limit now, I think. So that should be good. We're just gonna try. Yeah, there we go. All right, and but we go into the fucking grass. That's what I got. That's so frustrating because it's like, I wish it wasn't that way. I don't know how to make it not that way, So in evasion of the police, we will go up here, see if and a kickflip. That's not bad. Okay. Just gotta push. Gotta keep pushing. Man, I did choose kind of a slow skater to begin with, and I think okay. So we did lose the cop, and there we go. This game is excellent, though. So far as a skateboarding game goes, so far as a realistic simulation on the PlayStation goes, I don't think there's anything as good as this that tries to mimic any sort of sport on the PlayStation, and nothing gets it as accurate. And I think the reason is because skateboarding is a hard-ass sport where you fall and you fail all the time. And this is a game that is hard as hell, and you fall and you fail all the time. And it feels like you can't really control yourself. But you can control yourself, which is what makes it so satisfying when you do anything successfully, which is why I just absolutely recommend this game. But you have to be patient, and you have to be able to understand that this is a 16-year-old game that's trying to do things that modern games don't even do right. Compare it to games like Aquanaut's Holiday or something like that. They just try to do something way ahead of its time during, maybe with technology that couldn't quite do it, but it gets close enough that it just feels really good.